Welcome back to the Chicken the Duck podcast with myself, Rye, and my brother, the outro guy, Micah, where we talk about anything and everything pop culture, but mostly movies. And just a reminder that we will fly away all together. That's a quote from our movie of the week, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It's been a minute, and so we have a lot to talk about. Probably the most movie trailers we've ever talked about. Plus some rankings. We've watched a lot of stuff, both of us, because of the time, and we've also both done a lot in the last 2 weeks or so. So, where do you want to start? First off, how are you?
Good. A
Good.
little tired.
Got up a
I
little.
feel like I feel like I'm getting sick. Honestly, I'll probably be. I don't know. We'll see. I feel like I'm gonna wake up not good tomorrow.
Yeah, just because of the amount of that you've done the last week and a half.
Yeah, and then we like sleeping 3 hours last night.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I mean, I came back and went back to bed, but
Right, of course.
for a bit, but it obviously didn't help too much.
It's still like draining on your body.
Yeah, so I'm like starting. Feel like I'm starting to cough. I'm sneezing a bunch. I'm getting like the burning nose, like hot
Oh,
breath and everything.
yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm tired too. Yesterday I was in the same boat. I took Jenna to the air and her Jenna and her parents to the airport at like 4 a.m. And I was gonna stay up, so I was up to like 2, and I hit a wall, and so I crashed. But then I got up like an hour later, and Um, I took them, and by the time I was driving home, I got coffee because I was like, oh, it feels like I'm gonna stay up. And then I got coffee, drank that, and then I crashed for only like a couple hours. And yeah, so I'm very tired.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, so like when we get off this podcast, I'm gonna go sit in bed because Jen's gone still, which is like kind of nice, kind of weird, but I'm gonna sit in bed and watch a TV show that I'll talk about later, and then probably mess around on Letterboxd and stuff and just chill. Um, which
Yeah.
sounds kind of nice because I never really sit in bed and watch what I want to watch because we're always watching what Jenna wants when she's going to sleep, which
Yeah.
is whatever. I don't care that much, but
Yeah.
it's nice not having to put in headphones watching TV going to sleep. Because I always put in one AirPod because I have my Beats now, so I don't like whatever the AirPods. So I put in one AirPod and watch something and fall asleep with an AirPod in, pretty much.
Jeez.
So it was great. But this morning, the Hazeldale Parade, and they closed
Oh
the
yeah.
road at like 7:30 or 8, and I live on Hazeldale Avenue, and so I had to get up at like 6 and leave, so I couldn't sleep in.
Yeah.
So
That sucks.
I had to come home last night after a couple movies and like just go to bed. It was
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's rough. Anyway, so where do we start? Should we start? Probably two. You graduated.
Yeah, I did.
Congrats. Official. I mean, I've told you that, but congrats on the pod officially.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I guess we can. I was there. I went. I came to St. George. Um,
Yeah.
what we do that week? The last 2 weeks ago, 2 weekends ago.
I mean, picked you up. Didn't really do much. Then we just watched a movie, went to bed. Then
You
the
showed me
next
around the
day,
town
yeah, a little bit.
in the dark, to be fair, but
Yeah, in the dark. But then the next day, we went and saw Guardians, and that was uh that was on graduation day. So
yeah,
then you went to the hotel.
yeah.
I went back to my apartment and got ready and all that, and then
Right.
graduated. And
Yeah.
then you left the next morning.
which kind of sucked.
Yeah.
I wish I could have stayed later, but
Yeah.
it's
I
fine.
mean,
You guys mostly just packed.
yeah, I left that day. So
What time did you end up leaving?
like
You said like
4:30.
4. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yep.
And you
Not
went
bad.
to Disneyland.
I did. I went to Disneyland
Yeah.
last minute.
And
Yep.
how?
Drove to Cali.
Yep.
We went. I mean, got there Saturday night,
Mhm.
chilled. Then Sunday was just a free day,
Just hung
so we
out.
were at the pool.
Were you in a
Right.
hotel or Airbnb?
Yep. Um. So we were just hanging out there. You
Hmm.
know. Um. That was good. And then at like 4 or 5 or something like that, then we went to Huntington Beach.
Oh, that's fun.
Um. Yeah, it was cool. It was windy though, really
Yeah.
cold.
It
But we went to eat there. So we went to this really good Mexican place, and that was like
was a fire.
really good.
That's cool.
I had rockfish for the first time.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I mean, apparently it's a white fish, so I don't know. It was good.
Most whitefish is good.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, I never had it before, but
Yeah.
it was good.
Hmm.
Normal. Um, yeah, so that was good. Then we went to California Adventure. Um,
The next day,
yeah, the next day. We
and that's fun.
we didn't even go all day.
How busy was it?
Not very.
Really?
It was it was pretty.
Oh, I guess it's May. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like the best time to go
Yeah,
right now.
May. It's then the
October.
third week in September usually to
Yeah,
October. Yeah.
and to October, early October,
Hmm.
before Halloween stuff.
Yeah, after
But
school starts out before Halloween. Exactly.
yeah. So it was good. And
Hmm.
then the genie or whatever was working really well. So
That's cool.
we left pretty early. We left at like 8 or something like that.
Mm. Yeah,
Um, because we had done everything like multiple times already.
that's cool.
And we were like, and our Airbnb had the neighborhood it's in has like strict laws and stuff that they have to like follow, and you can get like thousands of dollars in fines, and then you get kicked out if you violate it. And they have like their own like in law enforcement like that will come to your house
Oh wow.
and stuff if people report you. And so there's like quiet hours, like no pool or hot tub after 10 p.m.
Wow.
to 9 a.m. and no, you're not supposed to play any music outside at any time. And so all this different stuff. So we left. That's part of the reason why we left at 8, because we were like we wanted to swim and we weren't gonna be able to swim the next day.
Oh, okay.
And then we were leaving, so we were like, go back, hot tub swim,
Did
and
you?
get food that's not $100 for everyone. Just eat corn dogs.
Right. Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
leave the next day? Like go to Texas?
No, we went to Disney the next
Oh,
day
okay.
and then
Oh,
left on Wednesday.
gotcha. Okay. I was just that's what I thought, but I was making sure.
Yeah. So then yeah, Disney Wednesday.
You
Um,
you buy anything in Disney?
I bought a couple things. They did not shop at all.
So I'm guessing I didn't get my wand.
No, you didn't get your wand.
You know.
I everything I bought was literally after the Disney day, after closing at World of Disney in about like 3 minutes.
They didn't want to shop at all. Like I
They
get like
didn't do like any of it. All the stores that I went into were like mostly Star Wars themed, and they were all. I just went in with Blake because Blake actually wanted to look at stuff.
yeah, of
So
course.
I didn't get like the Mustafar like Starbucks mug or nothing like that.
That
I,
sucks.
because I didn't have time to.
Yeah, that stinks.
And but yeah, so I picked up a puzzle for Mother's Day,
Nice.
um, of like all the different Mickey like variations through the years,
Hmm.
which is like the hardest puzzle
Did you guys
ever.
do it?
We started it like on Mother's Day, and we probably spent like 15 hours on it, and we're like not close to finished. Like
That's funny.
a lot, like probably like 35% done.
Right.
which is like, yeah, nuts. It's only
That's
1,000
wild.
pieces or something like that too.
Yeah,
It's like nothing crazy. It's just so I don't even know, dude. It's just so
that's great.
confusing.
Yeah. I guess happy Mother's Day to mom.
Yeah,
We definitely have a very good, I would say the best mom. Um, so
yeah.
I sent her the second part of her Mary Poppins Funko,
Oh yeah.
the
Yep.
bird, and then
Bert.
a book
Yeah.
that I think was good. But anyway,
Yep.
continue.
Yep. I saw that. But yeah, that and then I got Elijah. I think that was the only two things, right? I got Elijah like a little science notebook thing from the Spider-Man store in Avengers Campus.
That I love that store. It's so cool.
Yeah, and I got it. I mean, that was like, I got that when we were in California Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I figured we'd have more time to like pick up stuff. So he was the first one I bought something for, and then we didn't like ever go into any other stores.
That's funny.
Yeah,
That's funny. That's
it
good.
was different.
Yeah, I like spending at least like an cumulative like hour to 2 hours on the whole trip on in stores.
Yeah, I feel like maybe we didn't like spend any time. It
That's
feels
crazy.
like,
That's crazy.
but
And then
um,
you left.
yeah. Then we left, uh, and drove about 5 hours, and then the car started overheating.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then we didn't know what was wrong.
What was wrong with it?
Quite a bit. It
Oh,
was
really?
leaking. It was leaking from like a few places, I think, and then there were two of the hoses were leaking also,
Do you think
and there was a bad radiator cap,
do you think it
like
was
radiator cap was
inevitable
gone.
even like it would have happened if you were driving to Texas?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. That's did dad pay for it or did you pay for it?
Dad paid for it. It was like over $1,000.
Shout out dad.
Yeah,
he might com-
it'll be like
he might
it'll be like
complain
the
about
last
us,
thing.
but he does come through with certain things.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's great.
No, I mean it wasn't. Yeah, I mean it was inevitable. It was just like when it was gonna happen.
Right. Which
It definitely would have happened. I mean soon, because I mean driving. I would have been driving all the way home to Texas anyway, and
yeah.
if it didn't happen then, it would have happened sometime while I was here driving.
Yeah, so it would have happened. Yeah.
Yeah, but
And you guys had to get a hotel,
yeah, well, we were already gonna get a hotel
not in
just way
Flagstaff,
way further.
which
We're gonna
probably
be
would have been
past
cheaper.
Albuquerque. Yeah, I think it was cheaper, by a little bit, but it still wasn't bad, luckily. Um,
Did you
but
pay for it or did you guys split it?
I paid for it.
Gotcha.
It was like 160. Um, but what else? Oh yeah, so I mean, it was overheating. We pulled off, went to a gas station, uh, filled up, checked, went to check the coolant, and the coolant was like empty. And then I was like, then we are like, okay, gotta get coolant. Uh, Gas station didn't have any, so we poured some water into it and then drove it over to like an auto body shop thing.
Yeah.
Picked up some coolant, put it in, and it was still hot, but there was some water in it, so we're like, give it time till the water goes out.
Uh-huh.
Water out, refilled the whole thing's got coolant in it, and we were losing coolant extremely fast.
Oh, so it's definitely like
So we were like, something's happening. It's either, I mean, we were unsure what was happening because it could be, like losing the coolant. You would usually like lose the coolant, but it would keep the car generally pretty cool still because it'd be
right.
using it and everything like that.
Uh-huh.
But so we didn't know if it was just that hot that it was because the whole point, you could put water, you could put coolant in. The thing is that water has a lower boiling point, so it'll evaporate and go way faster.
Right.
So we didn't know if the engine was just like the radiator was just that hot
Hmm.
that it was like
Just burning it
just
quickly.
burning through all the coolant.
Yeah.
Um, so then we drove all the way slowly, like going like 60 or something like that,
Hmm.
trying to keep it all right. Um, all the way to Flagstaff. stopped at a Jiffy Lube. They were like, probably your radiator cap is like, because it was done. So
Yeah.
so they got us a new one. Put it on, started driving out. Like 20 minutes later, just
Same thing.
still doing it. Pulled off, checked it. Coolant was like all the way gone already. And they just like topped it off and burped it, so that I got all of the bubbles and everything out of it and all that.
Yeah.
And then we were driving back to Flagstaff now at this point, and we were like turning on the heater. We could turn on the heater full blast, and it like sucks the air and helps it stay cool. So we were able to go like 65 with
Yeah.
it cool. And then we were talking to, Nick and Ken, her grandpa,
Mm-hmm.
about it, and they were trying to like figure out what it could be, all this different stuff.
Right.
Then they were like, yeah, you could just buy a bunch of water, drive it, just keep stopping, putting stuff in.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, we could do that and finish tonight, and then go in the morning, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and drive it all the way back. But Dad didn't want us to. And so then we decided not to do that, and we were going to stay the night. And this is very short. This was a long time.
Uh-huh.
Then we decided to stay the night and go to the Jeep dealer in the morning, see if we could get it fixed. And we did that, and then they weren't gonna be able to get us in for a week. And so
That would have been awful.
yeah, so the dude was just like, yeah, we can't see anything unless it's running at normal or hotter temperatures. Because the car was obviously off overnight. It was like 5-minute drive to the dealership, so it was still cool. And he's like, yeah, you could drive it around, see if it fixes itself. You know, sometimes it could be like cavities. Oh,
Yeah.
I just unplugged my thing. It could be like cavities, and stuff like that. And it can just like fix itself
Right.
as it's, as you're driving it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did that, and it was still just overheating. So we went and we got coolant, and we got 3 gallons of water, and took off. And the beginning wasn't great. You know, you got windows down, heater blasting. It's not that fun. It wasn't
No.
bad though, because it was the morning, and
Right.
Flagstaff's pretty cool.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
so it wasn't really bad until, and we were doing fine. We were still losing coolant, so we had to stop. Whatever. But we had 2 gallons of coolant, so we were fine.
Uh-huh.
But then we got to Albuquerque. We were gonna stop and like actually eat and let it cool down for a bit. That was where it got hot. It was like go right near Albuquerque. It was warm and it was like midday,
Yeah.
and just that sucked. Heater going.
Yeah.
It's hot outside. But then we stopped, and then from there, it was pretty much just continually got better. It used less coolant each time, and wasn't getting hot like at all.
Yeah.
Slowly, and then we were just like slowly turning off the heater, and it got to a point where we were driving it completely normally, not losing like any coolant, and not blasting the heater. Like we had AC on and stuff,
Oh, interesting.
which was weird.
So you got to
we didn't
fix
know.
that back in Texas?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
drove it all the way home. Yeah.
Stopping.
In one go. It was like 16 hours. We got home at 4 or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that. You Snapchatted me, and it was like 2 a.m. like my time. I was like, oh my gosh, that sucks.
Yeah, we went to bed at 5
That's awful.
because we hadn't eaten either. So we was like making hot dogs and chicken in the air fryer.
Was mom or dad up?
Dad was up when we got home.
He
Dad
waited, or
stayed up.
he probably woke up. He probably said
No, he said he stayed up. He said,
oh, to make sure you guys were okay.
yeah. He was freaking out, dude.
That's probably rough for him though. He hates staying up. Mom can do it. He can't.
Yeah.
He's not built like us.
Mom was pissed. I heard mom. They're making so much noise. It's like, I'm just trying to eat. It's 5 a.m.
I'm tired, Mom. Shut up.
It's been 16 hours. I'm just trying to get food in. And I was cooking up her chicken in the air fryer, and I was going to put my hot dogs in, and it's in the pantry, and then I turn on the microwave, and it trips the stupid circuit because it's too much power, and so it shuts off. So I'm like, I have to go get Dad because I have no idea where our breaker is.
And what? That's so. Oh my gosh!
And
So that's
so
at
then
4
I
in
had
the
to go
morning.
get him so that he could turn it back on, and then I had to wait like 10 minutes for her chicken to cook. Then I could heat up my hot dogs and eat.
Oh my gosh, that's awful.
It was terrible.
Oh gosh, and then obviously Maddie was with you guys, and you just
Yeah, we hung out. I mean, went to Mother's Day brunch. Then
yeah.
we went to Waco yesterday.
Was that fun?
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah,
Ate. I mean, we pretty much just ate. We
yeah.
didn't like we walked around and all that,
Right.
but we pretty much got tea.
Nice. I want that.
Um,
I want to go come back.
yeah, I got tea. Got the grilled cheese. Got
Uh-huh. Nice.
these churro donuts and ice cream, and then we were just hanging out there.
Yeah,
So that was cool.
you guys swam and hung out with Elijah and
Swam a lot. Got fried.
nice.
Went to his baseball.
Did they win?
No, they lost the championship
That sucks.
by one.
Oh no. Was he sad?
Not really.
Okay.
He was a little frustrated. He was messing up a little bit, but
Oh, gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah. What is this? Before I talk about my whatever 2 weeks, what's this copy paste podcast?
Oh yeah, it was just a podcast concept based on ours actually.
Okay.
Because we always say uh talk about anything and everything, right?
Yeah.
And so we're like trying like we claimed, be this wide range podcast,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
And so then I had this idea where you basically from like what's how's the best way to describe it? From like Saturday to like Thursday,
Hmm.
the only thing you do for prepping is basically just listening to podcasts, and then you pull sections of podcasts and topics that they talk about, little games that they play,
Hmm.
things that they discuss, theories, things like that. So you watch like Joe Rogan, and
Yeah.
you like pick a section where it's obviously he brings on specialists and random crazy fields and things like that. So you take these little things and you basically talk about them, play these little games, also do these other things, and you just completely collage a podcast together.
Mm.
And then on one day you just record it and then you release it and then you start over.
And so it's like so new every week. That's a cool idea. I like that actually.
Yeah, it basically takes every single podcast. If you're listening to all these different podcasts, you just take little sections that were
Oh,
like the most popular favorites and you do it yourself.
we could do like a bonus episode like that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Call it like the kaleidoscope.
Yeah.
I'll have to send you what I wrote for um the preface for the book because I think it's so good. Because I probably could add things, but I talked about how like our podcast is like a movie and pop culture podcast, and we always say that we talk about anything and everything, and then how it progressed to how I used to say anything and everything, and now I say anything and everything, but mostly movies, and
Hmm.
super. I thought it was super creative, but I was like, we should do a T-shirt like whenever we make merch that says anything and everything, and on the back say but mostly movies. I think that'd be
That'd
sick.
be cool.
That'd be
That'd be
good.
cool.
But have I ever told you my podcast idea? Not like okay, like the podcast bar,
Maybe. I don't know.
and it'd be like kind of like a speakeasy type thing. But you get a place where it's like a bar or like a restaurant or whatever. But
I think I think you did tell me about this.
yeah, you go in right with 2 to 8 friends. Let's just say hypothetically, there's different ones. There's like booths with 4, with 8, the 6. All different numbers, ranging 2 to 4 or 2 to 8. And you go in, you pay like Top Golf, like you pay like $55 an hour. I don't know, but basically, you go and you sit. You can book an hour, you can book 2 hours, up to 3 hours, whatever, and you consent. You sign waivers and you consent to record your conversation. And there could be prompts and questions, and a bunch of stuff in the middle of the table to prompt a conversation, or if you're just entertaining people, you just are shooting the breeze about whatever. But then everything gets recorded, and then you could get the audio sent to you, maybe for a fee or something like small fee. I'm talking $5. But then the podcast itself, like the restaurant, the place, the business would have the podcast, like they release the episodes. Like someone goes through them to make sure it's kind of like appropriate or whatever. But then it's like these random people on a podcast. Like I'd be so cool.
It would be. It'd be sick. Yeah, it's like IRL chat logs.
Yeah, I think you should call it.
Voice chat.
I think you should call it like. I was thinking about this. I actually started I started like a page in my notes to like brainstorm, but like speakeasy or like easy speak or something like on the actual like a speakeasy, which is like an underground thing, but bar. But yeah, so lots of podcast ideas coming out from us. But
no, that wouldn't be sick.
I'm like, if I could get funding, I think it's a brilliant. Everybody wants to be on a podcast, and if you could just go do it with your friends, like that'd be such a fun thing to do.
Yeah, it's got massive expansion and implications. All this kind of. I mean, like you said, with prompting, you can like.
You have questions.
I mean, there's all the games.
Yeah.
Little card games. You make your own card game for prompting conversations,
mm-hmm.
and then you'd be able to sell that to people in home, and then that would be what's at the center of the table. And then
and you could have like
people are paying you to make your podcast.
Yeah, like the content's just being fueled by, and you just get, especially if they're over 21, you just start handing them drinks.
You get drinks.
So entertaining, and people are funnier.
Finger foods.
Funnier when they're. Could you imagine if like I'm just trying to think of like how hilarious it would be to hear like Dad and Uncle Tommy and Uncle Todd just having a conversation about whatever. Like, oh my goodness, would that be hilarious?
Yeah, it'd be funny.
So, but no one does like other than that situation, there's so many people you would never hear that are so interesting. Like, imagine like I think of like Pop-Up if he was alive. Like, you just take him there and he just gets to share. He's never gonna share. He doesn't care what a podcast. Like, older people don't care what a podcast is. Who cares? Mm-hmm. So. But
it'd be sweet.
That's my I think legitimately that would be my $1 million idea. I think that would be the thing that if I actually could get it created, it would make money. But who knows?
I think so too.
I'll go through I'll start. I bought a bunch of. So I got Mother's Day. I went to Mother's Day at Jenna's parents, and there was a birthday card for me sitting there from Jenna's grandparents. It's May. My birthday was 2 months ago. I opened it. It's $100 bill. And I'm like, Jenna's like, I think that was an accident. She's never given me that much money ever in my entire life for my birthday. And so I was like, well, I'm not giving it back. So, and so I bought a bunch of stuff. Obviously, you probably saw, I posted on my second Instagram about it. But I bought a bunch of stickers that I really liked. I bought like this Marvel Comics symbiote Spider-Man sticker. I bought a Rocket sticker. I bought a Where the Wild Things Are at Eddie Munson, a Stand By Me VHS, and then like this like movie ticket stub, or band ticket stub that's like, is that a band? Are you in a band from No Way Home? And it says like all the Avengers. Bought shirts. I got this hat, which I think turned out super cool. It's super clean. I bought this.
Yep.
The Rocket Raccoon Pop. I have about a Funko Pop forever. So I got Peter Quill, Star-Lord, which I liked. And then I bought like the soda of Rocket too.
Oh yeah.
Which is cool. I really like as well. But then I bought like a pocket knife. I bought like a mini one that's automatic, which is nice. And
that is nice.
I bought 8 comics, which it was so fun. Like, I just went to a comic book store and I spent probably an hour and a half looking through all of them, and I scored. So I had the first Christian comic one, like the Illuminator, and I found the second and third issues, which is like, and I kind of got the idea to like in my spare time, sometime down the road, to try to write a movie script based on those heroes. They would never get made
Mm-hmm.
because it's a Christian superhero. There's a reason they didn't continue making comics about him. But I bought like this Spider-Man Guardians of the Galaxy team up. I bought another Guardians. I bought 2 Rocket Raccoon ones. Bought Spider Punk. Like it was just fun, like searching through them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I bought a bunch of stuff, which was nice. I really loved doing that. Jen and I went to the Portland Art Museum, which is like cool, but also it took us like 50 minutes, and it was $50.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like the coolest thing is I bought a movie trivia game.
Oh
But
yeah.
but I have all my movie ticket stubs in there, um, which is Katie Renner just texted me. That's cool. So I put all my movie ticket stubs in there until I get like a proper like one of those box things, you know.
Yeah.
Which I guess I could have bought with my money, but I didn't care enough to. I went golfing. That was fun. It's so fun. I'm not great, but it's fun. I love it.
Oh yeah.
I went with Brighton. Um, yeah, we've had like events. I've seen Guardians 4 times.
Yep.
I saw it with you. Saw it with Jenna and 2 friends. I went and saw it by myself because I was bored and was like, I was in the middle of writing like a spiritual review type thing on it, and I wanted to refresh my memory, and I took notes while I was there, which was cool. And then I took students to see it. They wanted to go see it, and I'm sure I might see it again. I really love it that much, so which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
But we had a movie night the other night. Watched Iron Giant, which is great because we had 3 options: National Treasure, Back to the Future, and The Iron Giant, and only one of them was like cost money to rent, and everything else was free. And I was like, I let them decide, but I was like, please be Iron Giant so I can rent this movie with the church credit card. And they picked the Iron Giant. I was like, yay! So I got to rent it. I know you got to watch. Did you watch it with Elijah?
Yeah, we all watched it.
Oh no, Maddie too.
Yeah.
No, nice.
She had never heard of it.
What?
Mm-hmm. Not only never seen it, she had never even heard of it.
It's like
She
an iconic.
looked it up and had no idea what it even was.
Because I told some people that I was watching it, they're like, "What's that?" I'm like, "It's this robot," and they're like, "Oh, duh! I've not seen it, but I know what that is."
She looked it up and had no idea what it was.
That's wild. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so we had a movie night the other night, and I planned out a bunch of events to do this summer with the youth, which is fun.
That is fun.
Worked um, and today I drove to my friend's house, and he streams, and he gets like 10 viewers, and we just did a bunch of tier lists and said a bunch of hot takes, and it was hilarious and funny, and like he did one. A friend of his that was in the stream who's African American, he's black. He's like, I want you guys to do a tier list of Super Smash Bros. Characters and like rank how likely they are to say the N word. And immediately my friend takes the mouse and he takes Mr. Game and Watch, who's black, obviously, and he puts it to the top to say it. And then in the chat, his friend goes, "You better be careful where you put Donkey Kong." And so I took Donkey Kong and I put him at the bottom. And then there was the only 2 on there. There's a bunch of other characters, but those are the only 2 on there. And then we screenshot it. It was very funny.
That's hilarious.
We were dying. But so, yeah, St. George was awesome. I love being there too.
Yeah.
And Jenna's gone, so she's gonzo. It's just me and Pogue. Oh my gosh, I love being right, Micah. We've talked about this, how Maddie and Jenna say things are one way and they're actually not, and it's usually you prove them wrong. Okay. Jenna is convinced that Pogue must be fed at like 5 in the morning because Pogue attacks her when he's hungry, she says. And she's like, so you need to get up early and feed him. And I was like, no, I'm not going to. She's like, well, he's going to attack you. And this morning was the first morning I was by myself with him. Like I said, I woke up at like, I don't know, 6, and then I laid in bed, whatever. Went back to sleep a little bit. And I had to leave by, I think I left at 7:45. And I woke up at 7:15, 7:20, something like that. Hours after Jenna says I should have fed him. I woke up to him laying on my chest. I laid in bed for another 10 minutes. Was slow. I got ready. He followed me around, the whole thing. I'm about to leave. Then I fed him at like 8 o'clock. he didn't bite me. He didn't do anything to me. And I texted Jenna. What did I say? Oh my gosh. What did I say? I said, guess who didn't get fed till just now? And I texted her at 8:06 p.m. or a.m. Guess who didn't get fed till just now and didn't bite me at all? And she's like, Pogue. I said, that is correct. And she's like, interesting. I'm like, yeah, it is. He just likes me better than he likes you. But yeah, it was hilarious. I was dying.
That is hilarious.
I was also thinking about it. I was like, please don't attack my face. I really don't want you to do that. But yeah, you can definitely tell that we haven't talked in 2 weeks. Because there's a lot to talk about.
The last thing, we went to this burger cafe from these people from Medford, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
And they moved because they did their restaurant thing here because they said that they wanted to be able to serve meat to people who would eat meat. And
was that the Bud Light thing crossed out?
Yes, that's where that was.
Nice.
Oh. Just actually raised my desk.
Rich people problems. I'm
joking. But yeah, so I had a bison burger there, but the burger, basically you get, there's like 15 burgers. Mm-hmm. There's like queso burgers, spicy burgers. Yeah. Dude, there's so many. Uh-huh. There's like maple burgers.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Insanity. Mm-hmm. And whatever one you choose, you can just choose to have, what can you choose to have? You can choose to have normal beef, fallow deer, I think. Or axis deer.
Okay.
Bison, or like elk or something like that.
Yeah.
And so it costs more depending on the meat, obviously. Mm-hmm. But so I got a bison burger, but my burger was like this jalapeno like cream cheese thing with an onion ring and a chipotle raspberry jam sauce. And it was probably the best burger I ever had.
Really?
It was so good.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. It was the best burger. Dude, the raspberry jam, the spicy raspberry jam was just like the best thing ever.
That's awesome. That sounds so good.
Yeah. Holy and I got to try a beer from the brewery, like whatever place that's like right by us. Revolver Brewery.
That's sick. Yeah. That's cool.
Which was cool.
Yeah. I found I got this in Disneyland, and I have like 5 pictures left. So I'm trying to use them and get them documented. Okay. There's lots of things that are who cares to talk about, but we're still going to kind of talk about them. Mm-hmm. And then we have ungodly amount of trailers. So Ja Morant, Ja Wick, flashes a gun on Instagram Live again. And then his response, people are pretty sure he used Chat GPT to respond. Because people typed in, like, write a response for an apology or something, and it wrote exactly what he said. So, that's
I
interesting.
can't blame him. I'd do the same thing.
Yeah, for real. I get the backlash. Don't get the backlash. I also don't care. Like, he's ruining his career. Like,
Yeah, I think he's stupid for doing it, but I think that everyone and the NBA is stupid for caring, to be honest.
I get he's a role model. I get that part of it, but like, it's also legal.
Yeah,
He
there's
lives in
nothing that.
He lives in Tennessee. So JJ
Yeah,
Redick made that point, and I'm like, that's a good point. That's fair. The only thing is, he is a role model to young
that
kids.
is true, and it's whatever. That's what I'm saying. It's stupid. I think it's stupid they care, but they do care, and there is rules on that for NBA players, and
Yeah.
he's already been warned and been sent to like a rehabilitation thing, and
Yeah, like, he already did
it's
it.
like just like figure it out, bro.
If it was the first time, like it was the first time before, it was like, okay, chill, move on. But he did it again.
Yeah, I know. So I'm like, eh,
Like,
stupid that they care, but like, bro, you really deserve your suspension.
2 months later, like, get use your brain. Um,
Exactly.
Interesting enough, Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser, the all-inclusive hotel resort thing in Disney World, is shutting down after a year and a half,
So it's too expensive.
and no one goes.
Yes, because it's too expensive.
Yeah,
It's priced for rich people,
and not all
but
rich people want to just do that.
rich people will spend their money going somewhere else, not to an immersive thing. And once you do it once, no one does it again.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
not a
whoever decided it was a good idea is actually stupid because it's the longevity of it is just non-existent.
because it's a good idea for the first 30 seconds. Like, yo, this is
Well,
cool.
it should just be a resort.
It should just be a part.
Get rid of all the immersion and just let it be a resort, and people will actually and make it affordable, and people will
It
go stay there.
it should just be like a little bit extra than a normal hotel, where it's like, yeah, everything's themed and everything. It's like you feel like you're there, but you're not being walked around by stormtroopers. Like,
Exactly,
yeah,
and you're not going on quests and all this different. Yeah,
it shouldn't be a ride. It should just be a place to stay.
correct.
Yeah. So that dog, Robert De Niro, has revealed he has become a father of his seventh child at the ripe age of 79.
Good for him, I guess.
Swimmers are still swimming, I guess.
He's got at least one left.
That's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. He's 80 years old, bro. I want to know, who's his wife. Is he married? Like, how old is she? Because women, like, at a certain point, can't have kids. She's got to be under 50,
Yeah.
which is at least 30 years difference.
Yep.
But some Superman Legacy news. It begins filming in January. A guy named David Cornsweet and Nicholas Hoult are being considered for the role of Clark Kent. Superman. There's a couple other guys too. I forget. All I know is I don't want it to be Nicholas Hoult. That's the guy in Renfield.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely recognize him. And then Samara Weaving, Emma Mackey, Phoebe Denever, and Rachel Brosnahan are reportedly the front runners for Lois Lane. And I looked it up, and it should be Samara Weaving. That's my pick. I don't know if you saw any of them, what they look like, but
Nope.
the David guy looks so much like, and his mannerisms are so much like Superman. It's kind of crazy. But
That's sick.
I trust that, like, James Gunn, he does a good job casting characters. So,
Yes.
and I'm kind of excited it's not Henry Cavill.
Mm-hmm.
But
That'll be nice.
Did you see the Fast and Furious news?
Not really.
Yeah, well, Vin Diesel confirms that Fast X is a part one of not two, but a trilogy to end Fast and Furious. It's
Sure.
it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, also Dwayne Johnson is back. By the way, I'll talk about it in my review when we talk later. But the first, okay, I'm gonna say this real quick about Fast and Furious. Vin Diesel really told Isaac Newton to heck the f off. All I'm gonna say, it's insufferable. Um,
Yeah,
Disney.
it's just really bad. I'm really just not gonna watch it.
It was
I'm not
better
gonna
than
watch
eight.
any parts of them.
It was better than 8 and 9 by a lot, but still
Yeah,
wasn't great.
I still they should have just taken 10 years to make it. Like thinking they should have just done a Top Gun Maverick,
But
waited 30 years, and then made another one after making it for 30 years straight with like crazy budget, time, all this different stuff,
well, the
dude.
budget's still
And
crazy. The budget is the highest, the biggest budget in movie history is Fast X.
yeah, because it's so many parts also.
And I mean, like, it's gonna make $1 billion. It's so entertaining. We'll talk about it later, but
They could have just made a Top Gun Maverick,
yeah.
but for fast and to end
Also,
it, and it would have been great.
they're bringing Paul Walker back.
I heard about that.
Like, it's not like I didn't find that out from the movie. Like, they referenced him a lot in the movie, like more than the other movies. Like, they didn't really do it, but you can tell that they're setting it up. And they're gonna use CGI, and I'm like, dog, that's so bad. Like, they had a perfect ending.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, Loki, season 2 premieres on October 6th, which is cool. I'm excited. And then Echo, all episodes of Echo release all at once on November 29th. That will be good. I think Disney's like, let's just put it out, because then, like, I saw someone say, like, then everybody can't be like, oh, is Daredevil coming? It's like, just watch and you'll see yes or no. There's no, like, anticipation, and especially if the show's bad, you know?
Yeah, I think for that it makes sense because not a lot of people will be excited for it. I think releasing it all at once will probably give people more of a likelihood to watch it, honestly.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it more, knowing that I could just sit down and watch it in 2 days or whatever, and then it be done, and not have to, like, if it's like bad, but I want to finish it because it is part of the MCU, that whole thing.
Yep.
Chiweedle I forget what he looks like. Ewo 4 has been cast in Venom 3. He's like a famous like very famous black actor. I think. I think you recognize him.
Yeah. He's in like 12 Years a Slave, The Martian, 2012.
Oh yeah, he plays, what's his face in Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
But so that's good.
He plays Baron Mordo.
Mordo, yeah. Did you see the Captain America set photos?
Yeah. And they said that what major characters dying.
They did. I didn't see that.
They said I saw some news saying that they're killing off some major character.
Who would you think? Bucky?
Probably. People in the comments are all like, anybody but Bucky, anybody but Bucky.
It's time for him to go. He's not going to get like a solo project, and
exactly. It's gonna be him.
Harrison Ford, they could kill his character, Ross.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's considered major, but like, I can't imagine Harrison Ford signed on to be like a part of 5 more movies or something like that.
That's true, but they could have just done a one movie thing. He could just be an off character kind of deal. I don't think that he'd be considered a major character.
Yeah. I was gonna talk about this and list all the movies, but it's too much time. All this to say, summer 2023 movies is crazy. It's pretty awesome to be a fan of movies for the summer with everything that's coming out.
Yes.
So, if you don't have a movie pass, this summer's the time to do it. So, I guess you could do it. You could get an AMC one for the summer. You have to drive a little bit, but
would have to drive a little bit.
but could be worth it.
I think that Synergy has it. Probably.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Just get that one.
Let's go through these trailers.
Let's do it.
New Oppenheimer trailer. Still looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks good.
Very excited. Bird Box Barcelona.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I don't like Bird Box very much, but
no, it's interesting to have a movie that gets like a different perspective from a different part of the world. That's like really unique.
And I also like that it's not like I don't think any big actors in it.
No.
So that's
it'll be whatever. I'll probably watch it.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it too. I mean, I watch White Man Can't Jump. Like, Haunted Mansion.
It looks pretty good.
It looks fun. I'm more excited for that than I am most Disney remakes.
Yeah, honestly, same.
I can't believe I'm about to say this sentence or this title. Flamin Hot.
Oh my gosh, it looks so stupid.
It looks atrocious.
It looks like the worst movie ever.
It looks so like who said, you know what? We're gonna start a new subgenre of movie. Oh, what is it? I don't even know what to call it. Startup business
product launch.
Product launches, like
I don't know who thought that there was enough content to make a movie based on that.
I heard also that it's completely untrue. It's like a fictional story.
Then why would we care?
I don't know. That's what I was wondering. I heard that it's like not true at all.
I thought the trailers were based on a true story.
Well, it's based.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Maybe there's no way it's very true though. And it's probably the dude, but
I guess it is true. I saw.
Well, based on a true story is a very loose thing.
Yeah.
It's just usually a lot more accurate.
I thought it said inspired by a true story, which is a big difference between based on a true story. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, it looks horrendous. Surrounded. That is Jim Ki Woo's new. He's a South Korean filmmaker. It looks good.
It does look good. I'm trying to remember which one it is, but
it's the Asian. I don't know how to say that without.
I feel like there was a couple. I don't know. Some of them blend
together. No. Surrounded's the other. Surrounded's different. Cobweb is the other one. There's the one I'm thinking of. Surrounded is
Cobweb's the one with it's the Asian one where he's like writing movie or whatever.
Surrounded. Oh, this is the Letitia Wright Western.
Oh yes, this one looks really good.
I still think it looks great. Yeah, it looks so. I love Letitia Wright. It's a Western movie with like.
It looks really, really good.
Yeah, great cast, or it looks like a good cast. Yeah, I'm excited for this. It's cool. I feel like I don't really see Letitia Wright do anything else besides what she's done at Marvel. So. I put a movie in that I forgot to add, but I saw a trailer for it last night. It's called Biosphere. It looks super interesting. Really? Yeah, it's like these two guys are like living in this biosphere, trying to create and help save the planet. Basically, it looks like a comedy, like drama movie.
A dramedy.
Yeah, dramedy. Cobweb. That's the Kim Ji Woo. This looks really good, like really cool.
I mean, it does, yeah.
Foreign filmmakers do very good things.
Oh yeah.
Park Chan Wook. Who's the other guy? There's some other guy. The guy did Parasite. Extraction 2. This is like a real trailer. We get like an actual kind of like what is the plot of this movie, which was cool. It looks better than the first one, and I liked the first one.
It does look a lot better than the first one, in my opinion.
So that's exciting. How do you feel? I'm most curious to hear your opinion about this one. Five Nights at Freddy's.
I mean, there's not a lot there,
Yeah.
but it looks cool. The dude who's like one of the dudes who started it or something like that. Well, some important dude in the games. He's a part of the production and everything. So
Oh, really?
yeah, so
It,
it'll probably be good.
yeah, it looks.
And what's his face is making a return.
Josh Hutcherson
Yeah,
and Matthew Lillard,
yeah, yeah,
who's Shaggy.
yeah,
Yeah, did you see like the discourse about like people hate the design of the red eyes and they're trying to get it switched?
yeah. But the red eyes thing, people were talking about that because that's where I heard that the dude was like a part of all the stuff. The red eyes is like actually a thing when it's like being controlled by someone. They
Hmm.
have red eyes in the game, and there's just like 'cause Five Nights at Freddy's has like deep lore, deep
Really?
lore. Yeah,
That's
and
why
so
people are so
then
excited about it. Cause like I was like, I don't know, I don't know the lore. People are like hyped. Like trailer
yeah,
got
I
like
don't
100,000 plus likes. Like why?
yeah, and I didn't have I don't know like all the lore or anything like that, but um this video they were talking about there's purple like everywhere, purple lighting, and purple was associated with this kid named William who
Hmm.
like I know a little bit about him. He's like the son of uh one of the people who created Fazbear, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza and
Mm-hmm.
Entertainment, all this different stuff. Who was like a bad dude.
Hmm.
He was like I don't know. There's a lot of stuff, and he's a lot of messed up stuff.
Yeah.
So people think that it's him, because purple represents him or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's him controlling them. That's why their eyes are red, all that. And people are
Mm.
like, you know, just trust the dude or whatever. He's, you know, he won't let him mess it up. Blah blah
Yeah.
blah. But
That's cool.
the trailer looks extremely accurate to the first game.
Yeah. I thought so
Not
too.
necessarily like the video or whatever, because it's not a video, but
Mm-hmm.
when you start the game, you get like the phone call or whatever. It's like security, you're like a security guard, blah blah, and some of the shots were like identical to the game of
Mm.
the cameras and like what you actually see on camera was like the
Yeah.
exact same framing and
Right.
composition, all that kind of stuff, which was really cool. So
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm excited. I love Five Nights at
The
Freddy's.
games were fun. I've played it a couple times and I've watched you play them quite a bit actually.
Yeah.
Um,
So
yeah, it's cool. I'm here for it.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
me too.
Meg 2, The Trench. I'm so hyped. I'm so excited. It looks awesome. It looks so awesome. I don't care.
It's funny.
I love the Meg. It's not great, obviously, but I love the Meg. And so this just looks more ridiculous and so campy. It's so I love it. I'm here for it. I will watch those type of movies. Like shark movies are great. Love shark movies. And then you add Jason Statham, and like
Yep.
this is the biggest mech we've ever seen. Like it's the biggest mech we've all seen. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good. Um, I will be there opening night. Let's just say I'm
That's hilarious.
so pumped. Um, this is the this trailer is the most surprising in a while. Of like, oh wow, this is the creator,
Oh my gosh, this is my number one movie of the year,
dude.
dude.
It looks so good,
Like, not even just, dude, the concept is amazing.
so
The
awesome.
acting looks crazy, and the CGI world building,
Is
everything looks so good.
oh
Like,
my
like
gosh,
possibly the best sci-fi movie
oh
type
my gosh,
type beat.
it looks so amazing. Like
Like
everybody's freaking out over this movie,
the blue scans and everything, dude. It looks so clean.
and like the city and like the way it all. Oh my gosh,
Looks so clean.
I woke
I'm
up.
so excited for it.
I woke up in the morning and I like went on Twitter because I check like film Twitter in the morning because everything drops in the morning on like the East Coast, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, this movie looks amazing!" I'm like, I'm like, I've never heard of it. Why would it? You know? And I was like, holy crap! Like this actually looks. It reminds me of like Arrival, like just this super creative like sci-fi movie. It looks like it's like inspired by Star Wars a little bit, like all these amazing sci-fi movies that you're like, we need something new, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh! If I we
Yeah, it
made
looks insane.
if we re-ranked what I was most excited for, this would be top 5.
Oh, dude, same.
Oh my
And
gosh!
it's so awesome because it comes out so soon.
When does it come out?
September.
Oh, that's amazing! I love it.
I love that, dude. I love getting the
Trailer.
surprise drops that are like only a few months.
Do you know what I realized comes out in like the same day as Spider Verse?
What?
Past Lives, that A24 movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I was like, yes, thank good. Like I thought it was like, oh, we could be waiting months, and then it's like, oh, June 2nd. I'm like, this is
I feel like there's quite a few movies coming out June 2nd.
June 16th is crazy. June
Yeah, that
16th is
too.
The Flash, Elemental, Extraction 2, and Asteroid City.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I can't wait for Asteroid City.
Dog, I'm gonna be in the theater for 9 hours on the 16th.
Oh man, so
Anyway,
good.
it's
But
yeah.
but yeah, holy! I can't believe we're so close to Spider Verse, dude.
It's like, are you going to see it? Are you going to see it with Elijah?
Yeah, you'll be able to go see it, so we'll probably see it really soon after it's released.
Yeah, I'm seeing it Thursday probably, and then I'm taking students to see it the following Tuesday for $5 Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm.
When I because I showed them like I made like a PowerPoint of all the events for the summer, and one of them was they're like, oh my gosh, we get to go see this. Oh, they're freaking out. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna go see it.
What's sick?
Poor Things, starring Emma Stone, Mark Ruffalo, Willem Dafoe, Jared Carmichael. Directed by Yorgos Lanthimos. He's the guy who did The Lobster.
Mm-hmm. It looks really cool.
It's supposed to be kind of like female Frankenstein type beat. It looks awesome. It looks great.
It looks sweet, dude.
Like I don't. We said this before we even knew certain movies coming out. This year is going to be one of the probably the best year of movies since 2019 when Infinity War and all those came out.
Mm-hmm.
Like it looks so, or 2018. I don't know. Wait, maybe it's I don't know. Anyway, this movie looks so interesting. It looks so innovative.
No, it does.
September.
It looks
September
like
8th.
yeah. I mean, it looks really.
And the cast is great.
It is. It's really good.
Like, come on, dude. I'm so pumped. It's insane. Okay. What's next? This movie looks great too. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, Part 1. I need to watch all these dang movies, bro. But and then Killers of the Flower Moon. This looks insane. And
yeah, it looks really good.
It was shown at Cannes Film Festival today. And
yeah.
early reactions like, this is top tier Martin Scorsese. This is Leo's best performance ever. Like, oh, the story looks just fast. People said that it is kind of like everybody's favorite show on TV right now.
Mm.
And they're saying it's like Succession, which I haven't seen, but it's also like Yellowstone.
Yeah, I can
which
see
I'm
that.
like,
Love it.
Me. Inject it into my freaking bones. That makes no sense, but whatever. And then the last one is not a new trailer, technically speaking, but for the 20th anniversary, Park Chan Wook. Is that who did Old Boy? Oh, I think he was him.
I don't remember.
Yeah, Park Chan Wook is re-releasing Old Boy in like August or September, and so they show the trailer. I've never seen a trailer for it. Everyone just says it's like the best movie ever. Um, so it's coming to theaters.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna try to see it. Um, I think you should try to see it because you can't watch it anywhere else. Like you can't. You can only pirate it to watch the movie. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, exciting time for movies.
Oh yeah.
Did you make a list?
Top 5, yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right, we got our top 5. I couldn't think of anything, so I just was like, oh, let's do this. Top 5 favorite films that we rate a 3.5 star or below. Um,
Yeah.
so
This was an interesting one.
yeah, ours are gonna be very different.
Yeah. I'm gonna put
Um,
out that this would be very different. If I mean, I just didn't even. I feel like I don't have a set like whole list of movies. I feel
no,
like a lot of the ones 3.5 and below I don't have like rated. I just don't like I haven't put them in,
yeah,
gone through those kinds of movies,
right,
things like that. So like I have a good list, but
yeah, for sure.
I feel like it'd be completely different if I went through like every movie I've ever seen.
And it's hard because there's some movies that I love so much that I'm like, this might be 3.5 or below, but I rate it higher because I love it so much.
Correct, me
Like
too.
National
And
Treasure would probably be my number one, or like
yeah,
Narnia. Even though I do think those are good movies, but like, um, and also 3.5 stars in my opinion. That's a good movie still. Like that's above
it is.
average.
It is a pretty good movie. Yeah,
3 is where it's
I
like
tried. I tried to vary a little bit too,
I don't
and
have. I honestly I don't have anything 2 stars. I don't think.
I'm gonna be honest. Also, and a lot of it's like I feel like quite a bit. It's either like comedies or like nostalgic,
Yeah, I get that.
like personal bias towards the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get into it.
All right, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, I will. Um, First I'll mention I have Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief.
It's a good call. I didn't put that. I thought about it too. It's such a fun movie.
Yeah, it's got personal nostalgia and attachment to it, so
Also, it's so rewatchable.
it is. I've seen it a lot.
Yeah. It's like you just throw it on. Unlike the second one, which is
Mm,
unwatchable. My first honorable mention, I have the classic Ashton Kutcher, dude, where's my car?
mm,
I have
haven't
a
seen it still.
I have a three and a, the stupidest movie in the history of movies. It's just so good. I love it. It's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah.
Um, my second honorable mention, I have another nostalgia based. This one's a comedy though. It's a classic. Adam Sandler play on Western. It is The Ridiculous Six.
It'd be so bad.
It's so bad, but it is like the funniest movie ever.
Yeah, it is pretty funny. It is
I've
pretty.
seen it so many times.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Love it.
You could put a lot of if you're honest with yourself, you could put a lot of Adam Sandler here.
Oh, for sure.
But I feel like
This
most
I feel like this is probably my favorite. That's like
actually not.
that I would put below a 3.5. There's
Yeah.
other ones that I wouldn't put Waterboy below 3.5
No,
or
I put
3.5 or below. I wouldn't like. There's other things that I have at like 4 and
there's
above.
yeah, I most Adam Sandler movies like 4 because they're so good comedies, but
Yeah, this one's just like exceptionally, just like such a bad movie, but it's so funny. It's like the Starving Games,
yeah, like
where it's just
Spaceballs,
like it's yeah, dude. I
the
watched.
the
No,
Velocipaster.
we'll talk about Spaceballs later.
Oh, you have that on here. That's nice.
No, not on this list.
Oh, you watched. That's right. That's right. Did you watch it with Maddie?
Watched it. Yeah, we watched it in California.
Nice. My next honorable mention, I have one of my favorite Christian movies. I have I Still Believe.
Yeah.
In my heart, I would rate it 5 star because the story and like the message and it's the first movie I feel like that we all cried as a family.
Yeah.
We like
Yeah,
it was
we were just talking about this because Maddie hates me. I was like I was like early into dating. She
uh,
came over to watch it with us, and she said it was so embarrassing because she was just bawling her eyes out the whole time.
Was she with us?
Yeah.
Because, like, I remember, like, I was sitting it was in the living room at the Hawkinson house, and I was sitting on the chair. Dad was in the recliner. You, Maddie, and Mom, would be on the couch, and Elijah was obviously asleep. And, like, I remember, like, obviously, Mom cries at a lot of things. It's not hard to see that Maddie cries, you know? But that was before I cried at a lot of movies. Like, now I cry a lot more at movies. But bawling. You were
so
bawling, and Dad was bawling. I was like, what is going on? This movie must be really sad. But it's great. I really love it.
It is. It's awesome.
And so it's one of the better, more enjoyable Christian movies, which is hard to do, honestly. So.
Oh yeah. I got another nostalgia, personal bias based attachment movie. I got this one's for you too.
Okay.
Actually, but probably not on your list. It's Johnny Capahala Back on Board.
That's a fantastic movie. I probably rate it higher. That's probably why it's not on here. Because I went through my list, like all my movies, and I just filtered by 3.5 and below. I probably rate, like, let me see. Movie's so good. Do you like that one better than
Johnny Tsunami?
Yeah.
Yeah, by a lot.
I don't know how do you spell Kapahala?
Kapahala.
Yeah, I have it rated 3.5. Wow, I'm a loser. No, the movie's great, dude. It's so good.
Love it.
The final like scene where the race. So good.
Just so random.
It's such a random movie.
Just randomly made everyone want to have a dirt board.
The weirdest sport in the world, dude. Oh,
no one had ever heard of a dirt board before the movie.
Yeah, I remember wanting one so bad.
Yeah, I was like, I want a dirt board.
Dude, I feel like we probably watched the movie and took our bikes and we're like, we're going off the jump. Like, that's probably the thought process.
Probably.
You want to know? Okay.
Like, let's make the jump bigger.
Okay. You know how we used to do core memories? It was great. It was fun, but we ran out.
Well, yeah, I got way too hard to think of them.
Because it's really, like, they just come to you. Like, right now, do you remember when we watched Jump In and then went upstairs and started doing backflips on your bed? And then we got in a lot of trouble?
Yep.
That's how the Johnny Capahala movie felt. My number 6 is a movie we just mentioned. Sequel coming out this summer. I have The Meg. My favorite action star is Jason Statham, and it's a shark movie. And it's absurd.
That's valid. I almost had a shark movie on here, but it was not The Meg. It was The Shallows. That's my favorite shark, besides Jaws.
Jaws is obviously, But I think I have The Shallows at like 4 star, so that's probably why it's not on.
Yeah, I would honestly... Yeah, mine was at 3.5 stars, but I think I'd put it at 4 stars.
Because you're like, oh, this is actually better than this list is,
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
But
there's some movies on here though. There's one I need to change, but
there's one that
I put it on here anyway just to make the list more interesting.
There's a movie that I should definitely put at 4, maybe 4.5.
Like 4.5.
Because of how much I like the movie. There's a couple here that I'm like, I should make this higher, but I'm not going to because.
Well, yeah, I have one that's just like I like realize it's like actually an enjoyable movie and it's better than originally.
Yeah.
Than what I'd put it at.
But
my number 5, I have World War Z.
Okay, I'm not kidding. I have a list of 10 movies, and World War Z is at 9.
That's funny.
That's such a good movie.
It's great. It's one of my favorite like zombie movies. I don't know what it is about it. It's just like cool. I enjoy it every time watching it.
I'm not like a huge Brad Pitt fan either, but I love him in it.
I know, he's just great.
Yeah, it's just
a cool movie.
It's unrealistic. It's fun. Obviously unrealistic. It's just one of my favorite though. Like Zombieland's great, and like Shaun of the Dead, I think is the best zombie movie.
But those are like different category. Those are like comedy.
Yeah, they're great.
But then it's like, obviously the best zombie stuff. People would say The Walking Dead. I haven't seen The Walking Dead. I'm not going to say The Walking Dead probably. 55 seasons. but
Okay.
we'll see. Maybe someday. But mine now is Last of Us, which is like
Yeah. Still gonna watch it.
perfection. But
Yeah.
um,
My bad.
yeah. But this is a good one though. This is like I Am Legend,
Yeah,
sort of.
I Am Legend's a
I
little
have
bit
I'm
better.
I have I Am Legend higher because it's like I enjoyed it more, watched it when I was younger, watched it more,
Right, for sure.
has have more ties to it. But
Oh, I
World
forgot to
War Z is
say,
solid.
I got a Fitbit.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah, I got it for like 60% off because of my insurance, which is dope. Um,
That's funny.
so five, I'm at five.
Yeah.
Um, at my five, I couldn't not include a superhero movie that isn't the best. I have the Amazing Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield, the first one.
Yeah, I have it higher. I
Um,
almost put Amazing Spider-Man 2, but
I only have I have it at 3.5. I could probably put this at 4.
I
You have
think
it
I
at
have 4.5.
you have 4.5. It is. I love it that much. It's just not that good.
Yeah, I love it.
I
I
don't
love
know.
Andrew
I love it.
Garfield.
It's
I love
so
Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
yeah. It's great. So that's my five.
Yeah. My number 4, dude. I don't actually know what I have. Let's see. What I have it at.
Yeah.
No, I'm not signed in. Never mind. Um, but I have Zoolander.
I'll look for you.
Oh, I have.
Zoolander. That's such
I
a.
have my login.
You have it at 3.
Yeah, 3. I
I
didn't know if
have.
I did it 2.5 or at 3.
I have it at 2.5.
Yeah, I do have 2.5.
It's not
But
that good.
oh my gosh, it's one of it's another like ridiculous six-time movie. It is so like
Mm-hmm.
it's so bad it's funny.
Oh
That's like
yeah.
a great way to describe it.
100%. It is so bad. It is very funny. My number 4. I have a movie that you have the same score as me, so this could be on here higher. This is nostalgic as heck. I could put both movies. There's 2 of them, but I put the first one. I have Cheaper by the Dozen.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah. The first one it's not on my list, but it was almost on my list. The
it's
first one.
so good with
I
Ashton
think I had the second
Kutcher.
one. I think I have the second one at a 4-star.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think so.
Um, no, the first Super Red does. It's so fun. It's such a fun time. Steve Martin's ridiculous. The concept's ridiculous. It's
Oh yeah.
got somewhat of a good message.
Yeah, it does.
So
Where the heck is Cheaper by the Dozen 2? I don't know why it didn't come up. Yeah, 4. Yoda, 2-star criminal.
Very
The
really.
lake, really, dude? The lake at a 2-star.
I'll
Lake
move it up.
Winnetka.
Oh, I moved it up to 3.5.
That's my middle name. Number 3. This is the one where I have one that's it's probably a 4.5, honestly. And it's The Force Awakens.
Interesting. I have it at 4. I think I have Force Awakens at a 4.5.
Yeah, but I had it. I haven't changed it. Obviously, I've moved around my list, but I haven't changed. I haven't changed rating values in a long time.
I really want to
just haven't wanted to
rewatch
go
the
through.
sequel trilogy.
Yeah, I really want to rewatch this movie. Like, and I was like, yeah, it's definitely like 4.5 stars. But I have it on here. I had it at 3.5, so I put it on here to make it interesting. But I did a little swappy swap, and so then I did a movie that I have at like a 4.5 stars. This is not a 4.5 stars, but I'm not gonna change it because it's hilarious, and it's Velocipaster.
I have that really high too. I think
It's not a good movie, but I'm not gonna change it to anything but 4.5 stars.
No, it's one of the worst
principle.
One of the worst made movies, quite literally ever. But it was so funny.
I enjoyed it so much.
That is a moment on this podcast. Is when we watched that for movie of the week. It was. Oh my gosh, was that movie absurd? Okay, my 3 is definitely I gotta move it up. You have it at 4, to be fair. But I left it on 3. I didn't know I had it 3.5. I left it there just so I could keep it here. I have Transformers: Dark of the Moon.
Yeah, I have it 4. That was probably that was like one of my favorites.
That's a great. I love it. I think it's great. I just don't know why I had it so low, but whatever. I don't.
I mean, they're not great movies, but
The first one I think
I
is
give them a
great.
little boost
The
for
first one I think is
enjoyment.
genuinely a 4.5 star movie.
Yeah, that's probably valid. I need to rewatch Transformers. I haven't rewatched it in a long time.
The first two or the last two are atrocious.
Yeah, they are. My number 2, I have Point Break.
Oh, the new one? That movie sucks.
I love it.
I know, the same. Like,
Oh my gosh, I love it. Yeah, it's terrible.
I need to watch the original.
You do need to watch the original. That movie's freaking great.
Yeah. Are we about to have no overlap?
Really?
I doubt.
Probably. Yeah, probably not.
I mean,
My number one's very personal to me, so
there's a chance, but I doubt it. My number one's personal too. Does it have to do with dad?
no.
Okay, then no. My number 2 is I could honestly put this higher too because of how much I love it, but I also don't know which one I like more. This is another 2-parter, like kind of, I guess. But I have the live action Scooby Doo movie.
Yeah, those are good ones.
Like they're not like great in terms
I
of.
don't think I have them rated. This is what I was talking about.
You have the first one out of 3, just like me.
Oh, I guess I just missed it.
But like it's, I don't know. It's such a fun movie.
They are. It's really fun.
Great cast. Interesting,
yeah.
So.
My number 1, like I said, personal to me. It is Now You See Me.
Oh, you have that low?
I added a 4. I was like, it's not
If
really a 4. I have it at 3.5. I moved it to a 3.5.
Oh, I have it at a 4. That's why I didn't have it. I have it at a 4. Movie's amazing.
Yeah, it is. I love it, but it's not the best movie. I think it's floating between a 3.5 and a 4, so I put it at 3.5 and put it on the list. Make it interesting.
It's fair. My number 1 is a movie that bangs. It's a movie that we watched with Dad because it's like one of Dad's favorites, whether he says it or not. The amount of times I've seen Dad watch this movie is crazy. Super rewatchable. You don't even have it rated, so I'm curious what you would actually rate it. I got a 3.5, but it's Shooter with Mark Wahlberg. Movie bangs.
It is a good
it's not
movie.
like great, but like, it's so nostalgic for me.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I got that.
Sweet.
Draft time. I like this draft.
That's a good draft.
In honor of Guardians 3, we are going to draft songs from the Guardians soundtracks, all 3 of them, volume 1, 2, and 3, all the awesome mixes. Yeah, I mean, you can pick anything. If a song's repeated in another, like, you can't pick it, obviously.
Yep.
Which I feel like speaks for itself. But yeah, you want to kick it off?
Yeah. Well, I think I gotta start off with a classic, probably. So,
There's a lot to go from, honestly. Like, a lot.
Well, these are like the best movie soundtracks, every single one of them. So it's like amazing. It's very difficult.
I feel
I'm
like
probably gonna go with Hooked on a Feeling by Blue Swede.
That's fair. That's a great one. I feel like there's 2 number 1 options, and that's one of them. And for my first pick, I already know what I'm going with. I'm going with Mr. Blue Sky.
Yeah.
from
That's a good one.
Guardians 2 by I don't remember who it was by.
Electric Light Orchestra.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see. Next one. I'm gonna take the song from the greatest scene of all time, and I'm gonna take "No Sleep Till Brooklyn," Beastie Boys.
That was my next pick. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna follow you with the Guardians 3 soundtrack here. And I could go to Creep because like that acoustic version with the rocket singing is so good. But I'm gonna go with probably the most emotional song. And just the perfect ending. But Dog Days Are Gone. Are Dog Days Gone?
Are over.
I can't even know the name, but Dog Days Are Over is what I'm going with.
Florence and the Machine.
Yeah, that was just a perfect ending of that.
Yeah, it was. It's really good.
So.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take Creep, honestly.
Are you? Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's a great pick.
I love the song.
It is a very good song too. Going with Creep. I'm gonna go with. I gotta go with. I'm gonna go with "I Want You Back" by the Jackson 5.
Valid.
Such a good song. So.
All right.
I know what I want. I know what I want.
Another classic. I'm taking "Escape," the Pina Colada
song.
Pina
Colada song. That's a great one.
Rupert Holmes.
All right. I'm glad I got it this far, but I have to go with the ending. That I just feel like it ties the whole the trilogy together. But the Rocket's favorite song. I'm gonna play "Come and Get Your Love."
Mm-hmm. Started and ended the series.
Did it start the series?
Yeah, he's dancing to it. First scene.
That's right. I thought it was "Hooked on a Feeling" for some reason.
I don't think so. I'm
no,
pretty sure it was.
I think you're right.
Come and get your love. Come and get your love. Come and get your love. Come and get your love now. Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna take my favorite song. Off of all the soundtracks. Just my personal favorite song, which is "Brandy, You're a Fine Girl" by The Looking Glass.
Ooh.
That is my favorite song.
Really? I didn't know that.
Just like, not like based on the movie, whatever, when it was played, nothing.
Just in general.
Just in general, this is my favorite song they included.
Oh, what's it called?
Brandy, parentheses, You're a Fine Girl.
It is a good song, though.
Say, listen, Brandy.
All right. There's a couple I could go with. "Fooled Around and Fell in Love" is a classic. "Cherry Bomb's" a classic.
Crazy on You.
Moonage Daydream. But I'm gonna stick to my guns. I'm gonna go with "Ain't No Mountain High Enough."
Oh yeah.
Another one of my favorites. So, yeah, that does it for. We haven't done a draft in a long time.
Nope, it's been a minute.
I'll actually post this one because I haven't posted. I guess we haven't done one in a while either. But yeah, I got Mr. Blue Sky. "Dog Days Are Over." "I Want You Back." "Come and Get Your Love," and "Ain't No Mountain High Enough." And Micah, you've got "Hooked on a Feeling," "No Sleep Till Brooklyn," "Creep," Escape, the Pina Colada song, and Brandy, You're a Fine Girl. So let's talk what we've been watching.
Oh yeah.
Where do you want to start?
I don't know. How about we just like go through some stuff?
What do you mean?
Some quick stuff. Things that you don't want to talk about.
Okay. So, all right.
Do all the things that you just want to really say, like 5 words about.
Okay. Baywatch. I'm gonna choose these 5 words carefully. Gets worse every time I watch. I've never watched a movie like that. Movie sucks.
Yep.
it's okay. 50 First Dates, Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore, classic, funny, cute,
Great.
romantic.
It's a great rom-com.
Great rom-com.
Love it. One of my faves.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall, hilarious. Way too much nudity. Not female nudity either. I saw Jason Segel's private parts way too many times. Just say that. Like, let's see. Gosh, there's so many. Real Steel. I know it's bad, but it's a 5-star movie. That's my like. Yeah, I know it's like a 3.5-star movie, but everyone's got that. I'm a firm believer that everyone has that like 1, maybe 2 movies where they're like, yeah, I know it's not the best, but this is the greatest movie of all time type beat.
Yeah.
And that is it for me. Where like my love definitely trumps my review. The last one that I could talk about, I'll do 2 more. A Quiet Place, brilliant directorial debut from John Krasinski. I still love it every time. I know what happens, but I feel like I can't talk the entire movie. I stopped cooking dinner because I was so into it. Like, movie's amazing.
Oh yeah.
And do you want to talk in depth about the Iron Giant a little bit, or?
Nah.
Okay.
I mean, it's a shorter movie. Elijah had already seen it, so there's nothing to really talk about there.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did Maddie think?
She didn't really watch it all that much. We were like playing games and stuff too. Like we played the Clue, the fancy Clue that I got Mom whenever I got her that Christmas.
Nice.
And we played Life, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Nice. Well, I'll just say it's my favorite anime movie of all time. I still cry every time. It's a beautiful movie. So well done. One of my students said the most based thing I think I've ever seen. He's quiet. He's very shy. You know, he doesn't like he talks to me and stuff. But we were watching it, and the movie ended, and he had never seen it before. He's like, "Dang, that was really good." And like I never knew that he like knew anything about movies like at all. Like he's like said he likes certain things, you know. That was so good. I'm like, right? Like I know. And the credits were rolling, and it said directed by Brad Bird. He goes, "Brad Bird made this? Oh, this makes so much more sense." I was like, "Homie, this is sick." Yeah. He's like, "Dude, Brad Bird's the best." I was like, my mind was like exploding because it was cute. It was funny. Yeah. So,
sweet.
Let me see. I kind of want to talk about a couple of 2023 releases that are. Yeah, I'll wait. I'll keep it at that for quicker.
Gotcha.
So you can go through yours.
Yeah, Spider-Man 3. Really, it's not a great movie.
Why'd you watch 3?
But we were watching them on TV.
Oh, okay.
In California, like with Blake and stuff.
That makes sense.
Like all 4 of these ones I'm talking about, like right now. Yeah, it's not a great movie. Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's a great movie.
Fantastic movie. Fantastic.
So, that was fun. Temple of Doom came on right after it. That's also a good movie.
Yeah, not bad.
Worse, but
Yeah, that's not saying a lot.
yeah. Spaceballs. It's a great movie.
On TV,
Yep.
movie's terrible, but I love it.
It's awesome. It's so funny. Um,
Jenna, okay. Sorry to interrupt. So on the way back from Portland, um,
mhm.
we were playing this because there's traffic, and we went through all of them. And there's a question about Spaceballs, and she read the question. And there's options. I'll have to find it sometime and read it. But it was like, "What is this spoof movie of Star Wars?" Blah blah blah. You know. And Jenna's like, "What the heck is?" She like read the card. She's like, "You're not gonna. I have no idea what this means." But and I was like, "Just read it." She read the card, and before she gave me options, I was like, Spaceballs. She's like, "What the heck? How do you know that?" I was like, "Cause
What the
it's."
heck is Spaceballs?
I was like, "Cause it's cinematic perfection, Jeno. How else would I know this?"
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah. Anyway.
Um, Island Hunters TV show.
Mm-hmm.
We went on Discovery Plus and realized that like all the childhood HGTV shows are like on there, and
Mm.
so we watched like two full seasons of Island Hunters.
Like
Um,
outside, like by the
no,
pool, just
no,
inside.
because it was stormy. It was stormy,
Oh, that's right.
so um, yeah. So we watched a bunch of that. Finding Bigfoot's on there.
No
I'm gonna probably watch.
shot.
I'm gonna probably watch that.
That's crazy. Those guys are insane.
River Monsters is on there.
That's
We
a
watched a
great
little
show.
bit of that.
That's a
We
great
didn't
show.
watch enough for me to put it on here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's good. Some Tanked introduced Maddie to Tanked.
That's a great show too.
She loved it. They're so
It's
hilarious.
they're funny. It's entertaining. It's so cool. Yeah.
It's like so like staged and scripted, but it's like now that I'm like watching it older, I like didn't realize before,
Oh,
but it's
I
like
could
so
not
many
have
things
told
are
you that.
so set up and obviously set up
Yeah, they
and
build the
script
suspense.
words and situations, like things that went wrong were like 100% scripted.
Oh yeah.
Like there, we were watching one with like they were making a pinball tank, and they were taking off the front glass like ceramic art piece or whatever for the pinball thing that goes over the scoreboard like stuff and hides all the wiring.
Yeah.
And Wade and Brett were taking it off, and then Wade like they're like fighting over it, and then Brett grabs it and he obviously turns and he throws it on the ground. It's like, and it's they make it into this whole big dilemma thing where it's like Brett screwed up and he better get a new one
Uh-huh.
delivered to like New York in time for the setup.
Right.
And
Yeah, because you
it's just
always
so fun.
you just have to think about it logically, which is boring because it's like for fun TV, it's reality TV. But like any other job, like these guys are professionals, like the best at what they do to the point where like you have famous people getting these ginormous tanks. Like they're not like yeah, they make mistakes, I'm sure, but like
Oh yeah, and there's certain
they're a
things that are like,
professional
yeah, okay,
company. They just don't make mistakes like that. Like when someone builds your
no,
house, like they might make a mistake here and there, but they don't knock a wall down. Like
exactly.
yeah,
No, it was definitely because there was not something interesting enough to
yeah, you
like
gotta do
be a
something.
twist, you know? Because there is things, obviously they do like really crazy and outlandish things, so they often like cater to having issues
Mm-hmm.
because they like do something so crazy. It's like put
Yeah.
a fish tank into a like a bus and make it drivable, or a pinball machine and make it actually dispense pinballs, and they're like, how the heck are we gonna do that? And then they have like an issue with getting it to work, this kind of thing or whatever. But
Yeah.
some of them are really staged.
They dramatize it a lot.
It's hilarious though. I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah, it's so fun. So fun.
Um, and then the last one I'll talk about is Up, Up and Away, which I completely forgot about. But Elijah was watching it today, and I watched quite a bit of it.
I'm looking it up right now. Oh my
It's the
gosh.
superhero movie with like the Falcon looking dad, and then the kid doesn't have superpowers, and
What a weird looking movie. Is it good?
I mean it's like a childhood movie. I like it was nostalgic. I loved it.
This
It's
re-
not a good movie though.
this review. There's two of them. It
There's
said
only two
no,
reviews
no,
of the
like
movie.
these two. Says I know I've only just reached the 21st century of DComs, but I already know this film is going to win the most bizarre line. We had Spider-Man and Mary Jane over for dinner last night. They say hi. And the
Way
other
better
one.
than Black
That's what I
Panther.
was gonna say. I was like, isn't that great? Oh, it's so good, dude. That's
Oh
hilarious.
my gosh.
Okay, okay, I heard this hot take on a podcast that I listened to, and I can't get it out of my head because I think it's so true. And you might disagree because I know you like the movie Up. I don't know if I said this, but it's like the most forgettable movie. And the
Up?
only reason it's rated so high is because the first 10 minutes are so good, but the rest of it's so average.
Oh no, that's completely true. I don't have it. I don't think Up's that great of a movie.
Because I have it like a number nine Pixar, and I was looking at it today. I was like, why is this here?
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not that good. Like it's
No,
iconic.
it's not.
The first 10 minutes in like the house are iconic because of the love, but the rest of it's like, eh.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, sorry, that was off topic, but I just kept thinking about it.
Not completely true.
Um,
Yeah.
nice.
I only have 2 movies now.
Okay. Then I'll go through. So I watched Moonrise Kingdom. I still need to write a review for that. It was awesome. It was
Really?
so great. I really enjoyed it. It's Wes Anderson.
I was gonna watch it today because I saw that it was on your list thing or whatever, and I was like, oh, it's out on something finally.
Yeah, I don't remember what,
And
but it got put up. I think Amazon.
Prime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Prime. Yeah. One of the better Wes Anderson movies. Honestly, like from what I've seen, I haven't seen everything. So if I were to go to Wes Anderson, um, right, that's actor, director. Thank you. I've seen four, I think, or five. Oh, I haven't put in a review for Isle of the Dogs. So I would still say it's Grand Budapest, then Fantastic Mr. Fox, and then I'd put Moonrise Kingdom, then Isle of the Dogs, then French Dispatch.
Yeah.
So it was very good. I'd say 4.5 stars. Like, um,
That's good.
the story was like super interesting and like this great like coming of age tale, and of course this is like his style's flowing. I know we've talked about how like Bottle Rocket, like you can't really tell that it's him, like it's kind of but like not. You can tell
Yeah.
like this was 2012, so like this was after Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, this is good. And like, yeah, it was funny, it was cute. Yeah, it was awesome. I really liked it.
Yeah, that's sweet.
You'll definitely have to you'll really like it. You love coming of age more than I do. So
Oh yeah.
you'll really like it. First Reformed, you'll also really like. It's crazy good. 5 stars. Um, it's like this pastor, like Presbyterian pastor, that's like going crazy basically. And like he's helping this woman whose husband like kills himself, and she's pregnant, and like the husband cared a lot about the environment, and that's why he killed himself. Like this whole thing, and he's going like the pastor's like going like crazy, and this whole time he's taking this journal and he's trying to lead this church, and it was deep. It was like really rich, like thematically, and like the cinematography's great. Kind of reminds me of like a ghost story vibe, but like people, obviously. Yeah, contemplative. It was really really good. A24, so it's like not shocking to say that it's so good, but in the ending
Yeah.
it's like what the heck? It was crazy. The ending's crazy. So
That's sweet.
you'll it's like an hour and a half too. It's short. It's really good. Maybe a little longer.
I'll probably like it then.
That's it for. I watched White Man Can't Jump. It sucked. It's bad. Like, yeah, it was. Jack Harlow was like kind of funny. Like he's just charming in general, so it's like that's not hard. I feel like.
Yeah, I figured he'd be pretty funny.
Like
But...
there was some like serious moments, and it was like he sucks, like, a lot. Um, there was definitely laugh out loud moments where I was like, this is pretty funny, and the basketball was pretty good, but it's just a bad movie.
Yeah.
Hypnotic, Ben Affleck movie. It sucked too. It was very like it was like a movie that if you were like, hey, ChatGPT, uh, please write a movie about like Christopher Nolan wrote Memento and Interstellar and Prestige and Inception and put it in one movie. That's what it was.
Oh
Um,
wow.
and like it was entertaining, I guess, but like it was a movie of twists that I called from the start, like that predictable. I felt like so. My review I think is hilarious. I think it's worth. I think my review is worth being like a popular review. It'll never be the case, but I said this will be a great movie for the Walmart $3 bin, um, and that's how I feel about the movie. Um,
That's hilarious.
I'll wait to talk about champions. I watched Carmen last night. It's like a musical romance with Paul Mescal.
Mhm.
And this girl, I forget her name, but she's in the Scream movies, and I've never seen those, but people like love her. It
Mia
was
Goth.
no, not her. That's
Oh, I was like, that's pretty big name.
I forget it. It was really good. It's like about this
Oh, she's in. I was thinking of what's it called?
Pearl,
Pearl. Yeah.
Pearl and X. Yeah, those two. Yeah, really good. Like super interesting. It's not like perfect by all means, but like the use, it's like the most stunning, visually stunning, like cinematography wise of the year that I've seen.
Hmm.
Um, and like they break out into like dance, and it's like set in Mexico kind of area, like southern Texas. I want to say it's on the border of Mexico because like this woman flees to the United States, and this guy Paul Mescal's a Marine, and they like fall in love, and they're running away from like border patrol, and um, yeah, really like beautiful movie. I really enjoyed it. It ends with like this dance scene at the end that it was really cool.
Hmm.
I was shocked, and it was Paul Mescal, and I hadn't seen him in anything else. Like I want to watch Normal People, but like I was like, oh shoot, I had time last night. I was like, oh, let me go check this out. I was the only person in the theater. And it was awesome. I watched Blackberry, another one of these, creation of the product. It was good. It was really good. Story's pretty fascinating. It was intense. It switches from like this comedy. It is shot and filmed in the way that The Office is shot, like the exact same
Mhm.
style. But it was like like that. People have done that before and they suck. And this
Mhm.
was like super well done, like the zooming in and like the looking at the camera type. Like it was pretty cool.
That's
Um,
sweet.
and it obviously it shows the rise and fall of BlackBerry. Obviously, it shows Apple and Steve Jobs, and um, the ending shows one of the heart. So like, I don't know if you care. Do you care? This is a quick spoiler.
I
Uh,
don't care.
okay. Basically, two guys created it. Really smart guy. Forget his name, but he's the creator of it. He's like genius, right? He created the phone, and the company's dying, and like because Apple's coming out with the iPhone, all this stuff. But his best friend, who also created the company, who's like this geek, he's a weirdo. He's like let's do movie nights, things like that.
Mhm.
Um, he's getting fed up with how like serious it's becoming because he's like, yo, we started this thing like as best friends. It's fun. Because there's this other CEO, co-CEO that's like a jerk, business guy, and he basically sells his stock and does the whole thing at its peak basically, and he leaves. And at the end of the movie, you know how it like gives all the facts.
Mhm.
um it's like it said like Joe, I think his name's Joe. He says Joe sold his stuff and all this whatever at the peak of the thing, and it's like he's secretly one of the richest people in the world. And I was like, that's fire. That's so sick. And
That's sweet.
he's like this cornball. So and then lastly, not hypnotic. Gosh, Fast X. I went and saw Fast X. Um, gosh, You know the scene in one of the Fast and Furious movies where like Vin Diesel like catches Letty out of the car and lands on the car, and you know, there's a
Mm-hmm.
scene in this movie that rivals that for how ridiculous. If that says so, it's like bad, like really bad.
Lovely.
So there's like that. It's absurd. Gravity doesn't matter. Um, things like that. Jason Momoa was like surprisingly like really good. Like he was like
Yeah.
evil and he was funny and like he just looked like he was just ripping off the dome for things. It just was fun. Like he was on screen, it was like entertaining. Vin Diesel is insufferable. I mean, just the worst. Like, Jason Momoa says something like funny and clever and witty, and then he's like, "Well, you don't know, I got family," and I'm like, I turn to Brighton, and I'm like, I'm gonna shoot myself. Like this is awful. Like we were texting during the movie. I can read you one of the quotes. This is hilarious. Um, uh, he was talking to like some girl. I texted Brighton in the middle. I said Vin Diesel's the worst part of his own movies. And Brian's like, "See you soon," and family first. And then as this happens, he's talking to this girl. He goes, she's like, "I'm coming with you." He's like, "I need you to stay safe." And then I put like this rock, like this, "Shut up." Like that's how it, that's how it feels. And then I said, "Take a shot every time Vin Diesel says family." You know. So it sucked. It wasn't great, but I will say, Jason Momoa was awesome. It's still super entertaining. Like it's, you know, it's crazy. It's wild. I love Jason Statham. He's awesome. He's just such a brilliant action actor. And Brie Larson was actually surprisingly good too. She was great. Her character was fun. So
yeah.
And it left on a cliffhanger. And Gal Gadot, who died, not dead.
Cool.
She's like in a submarine in Antarctica.
Interesting.
And at the end of the movie, like Jason Momoa is like Thanos of this whole thing. Like he's the villain for the next 2 movies after this one.
Yep.
Post-credit scene, of course. And it's like this guy, big guy, got a mask on. He's like walking in, he gets a phone call. He's listening to Jason Momoa talk about Vin Diesel, like Toretto, he's the one who's driving the car, but you're the one that pulled the trigger. I'm coming for you and your family. Blah, 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 blah. And then it's The Rock. And so he's back. Like, they're just all back.
Perfect.
So, stupid, but fun, I guess. Yeah, sorry. That was a long time. But now, and I started watching The Office. Woo-hoo.
Yeah, that's the big one.
Dude, I'm so, like, I'm having a lot of fun. This episode's been a blast. We haven't talked in 2 weeks. I'm loving this. I'm so excited to go watch The Office.
What episode are you on? Like in season? Did you finish the season yet?
I'm in season 3.
Yeah.
I want to say, let me look.
You got a lot to look forward to, dude. There's so many seasons. I think there's like 6 or 7 that Michael's in, and those are like the best.
Yeah, because I know
it's great all the way through. But
okay, so
those are obviously like the best.
The last one I watched was Back from Vacation, where Jan's like with Michael, and like the Benny Hanna's Christmas, dude. The Convict was hilarious.
The Convict's awesome.
Also, we'll never understand this. What's up with people's beef with the first season?
I don't know. The first season's like my favorite, probably.
It's hilarious. It
has like the funniest episodes. It's got the basketball. It's got Diversity Day, sexual harassment.
Like
it's got some of the best episodes.
They're so good. Like I don't even.
Yeah, maybe not all of them are the best, but there's like a handful that I'd be like, these are arguably like the best episodes of the entire series.
Yeah, like Diversity Day, the Alliance is hilarious. Hot Girl is funny. Sexual Harassment season 2, The Dundies. Then you got what other ones were great? The Client was funny. Performance Review was funny. Booze Cruise. I mean, they're all fun. Some of them are so funny.
They're all funny. They're literally every single one's just so funny.
Dwight's speech is hilarious. Drug testing is hilarious. Oh my gosh, we're not conducting a drug test. It's so funny.
Dude, it's so rewatchable too.
It is so good. It is so much funnier than Friends. Because the jokes are just...
And there's zero laugh track.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally just dry comedy. Like, they just say stuff, and then it's like, you just... That's so funny.
Yeah, the merger was fun. The branch closing. Dude, I'm having trouble falling asleep because I'm like falling asleep to it and I'm like dozing off. And then Michael says something like racist or something, and I am cracking up. And then I'm awake for another half hour because of my adrenaline.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
it's so good.
I'm
definitely the best sitcom.
Well, because like my favorite episode is, I don't know what season it is. The only episode that I was ever like, this is amazing, was not Fire Drill, but the Fire Alarm, I think it is. But and I also hear that Niagara Part 1 and 2 is like amazing when they get married.
Oh, they're great, man. Those are great episodes, and there's a lot of heartfelt episodes too. That that are serious, that are pretty serious. Obviously, it's still jokes left and right because Michael Scott's in them. Michael's like, and Dwight, and they're just like the naturaliest.
And I love
funniest characters.
They do such a good job of making you just want Jim and Pam to be together so bad.
Yeah.
Like, I've never wanted, like, you watch Friends, like, oh, you want Rachel and Ross. It's like, no, I want Jim and Pam. I want Jim and Pam. They're the best. They're funny. They don't have any problem. Like, they have issues, but they're not, like, cheating on each other. Oh, yeah. It's so much best. I still do love Friends, but there's just something about, I'm like telling Jenna, I'm like, dude, this is hilarious. Like, you gotta watch this. So, yeah.
It's so good.
Anyway, tell me about Quantum Mania. Did you watch it with Maddie and mom and dad and stuff?
Yeah. Dad didn't watch it. But, yeah, I mean, it wasn't good. It was a very boring movie. I didn't even watch, honestly, most of it.
Really?
I was trying to help Maddie fix her laptop. But I didn't really want to watch it anyway. Watched the first half, and then the second half, I was like, Gang was good, obviously. That was good.
Yeah. Never been in another movie.
MODOK was like stupidest thing ever. But I did really enjoy seeing his butt.
Yeah, amazing, right? Cinematic.
That was probably the best scene in the entire movie.
Yeah, I heard Martin Scorsese watched it, and when he saw that, he said, "This is cinema."
This is cinema.
Yeah.
Little MODOK booty.
The whole like, I don't want to be a dick. Don't be a dick.
Oh my gosh. I was looking at Mom and I were like, I'm like, not even, it's not even like, and she was like, it's not even like that it's stupid because it's swearing. I'm not even like, it's stupid. And like, it's just stupid.
It's just,
that's what she's saying. She's like, this is just outright the most retarded writing ever.
Who wrote this?
It's just not funny. Like, why are we saying this so much?
Yeah. Oh, also, the guy that wrote this movie was doing Kang Dynasty. He's fired from doing. He's not doing Kang Dynasty. He's not writing it anymore.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So. Yeah, bad movie. What would you rate it? I gave it a 2.5 because it's not like the worst, but like
I'd probably give it a 2.5 or a 3.
Yeah. It's bottom 10.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely not worth your time. That's for sure.
No, it's not. I could have gone without seeing it for sure.
Yeah, but it's like, it's hard to explain. It's a better movie than like, let's say Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd almost rather watch Captain Marvel because like the writing isn't as bad, which is saying a lot because Captain Marvel's writing's bad too.
That's true. Yeah.
It's like I would rather watch this movie that I think is the worst MCU movie over a movie that I know is not worse, but just is so badly written. So, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't badly written.
Champions.
Champions. This is the movie that we intended to fall asleep to.
And then watched.
They watched pretty much the whole thing.
It's so funny.
It was so fun. It was great. It warms your heart. Thinking about it warms your heart.
Mm-hmm. It was great. It was an awesome movie.
It was very fun. Woody Harrelson, great, and then all the kids. Or I don't know if they're kids. I don't know if that's mean to say that they're kids. They played kids. No, they didn't. I don't know.
They didn't. They weren't kids.
It's hard not to say kids because they have that personality, obviously.
They did have the personality. They seemed like, and it was like a boys and girls club type deal.
Yeah.
So like it made it feel, and they're like getting chartered around on, but like all that kind of stuff. But,
yeah.
And so it made it feel like it was kids, but they were like living on their own and stuff.
They could be like 30 years old. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, they could.
Like
from what it seemed like, they were like young adults, but
yeah, because like
they could have been older.
There's a girl that I was I was friends with at the time named Emma that with some of you, and her sister who's adopted. I'm pretty sure, I don't know exactly, but named Marissa. She has Down syndrome. She went to some of you. You've probably seen her before. She has Down syndrome.
No, I know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Marissa.
and she's like 40, but she's like the best, and she's the sweetest, and she's just like got this joy of a child, And, yeah. And so watching that reminded me of her, which I loved her. Like I love her. She's the sweetest person on the planet. Like they're so nice and endearing, and they're so genuine. And I know it's a movie, but I can't help but think that like this is just them.
Oh yeah.
Because I also want to know how that works. How like writing it? Like do you write it like they would speak, or do you just write it and they just do it? I would.
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
I feel like it'd be wrong to write it like a.
I know.
I feel like that's.
I feel like they probably include quite a bit of improvisation.
Yeah, probably because
they're like, this is the situation. We kind of want you to say like this kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah. But it was so endearing. Such a fun movie. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
What was the one? I'm your homie with an extra chromie.
You're no
McConaughey.
No McConaughey.
There were so many others, but yeah. That's Cousin Tina. So good.
Some of the things they did. Dude is shot backwards all the time. Oh my gosh. The screen, the statue screen. And then the
oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I'm a statue. They said a good one, and he's like, that turn you on, coach? She's like, yep, I got a hard on. I got a hard on. He's like, do you got a hard on? He's like, he says like rock solid or something.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. The screen was. I can't move. I'm a statue.
I'm a statue.
It was so funny. So funny. So,
yeah.
Yeah, it's a great. If you have Peacock's free, you just gotta watch with ads. We strongly recommend.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot.
It'll be one of the most fun movies you watch all year. I guarantee it. So
guaranteed.
And then finally, movie of the week.
Guardians.
Weeks. Yeah. Guardians. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I will give a little. So essentially, Peter Quill, still reeling from the loss of Gamora, must rally his team around him to defend the universe along with protecting one of their own. A mission that, if not completed successfully, could quite possibly lead to the end of the Guardians as we know them. So, I think we're both in agreement. This is the best MCU movie. Second 5-star for me. I don't know if you have. I think you just had Infinity War, just like me, 5 stars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me your thoughts. There's a lot to talk about, obviously, but
yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I mean, there's almost not a lot to talk about because I mean, it's just a lot of praises.
Yeah, there's like hardly any
There's not a lot
gripes.
of like, yeah, it's not like a lot of discussion. It's more just it's like this was amazing, this was amazing, this was amazing. I
Yeah,
mean, their acting was awesome.
it's the best acting probably in the MCU.
Probably, I
It's
mean,
up there.
it is the best villain in the MCU by
You think better than
miles.
Thanos?
Oh yeah,
Oh wow, that's a hot take. He's
pure
fantastic,
evil. He was the most pure villain,
and he's a good actor too.
and he was great. And it was just, I mean, it was so good.
And
Seeing all the memes, and just like and stuff.
uh huh.
Obviously, they're jokes, but in a serious note, it's like right after Rocket experiences like one of the most traumatic moments of his life after being tortured.
Hmm.
His whole life, and then his friends are dying in front of him, and he's crying. And like 2 seconds after that happens, he's just like, "Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! I don't care! I don't care,
Yeah, he's just evil, man. He's
dude."
evil. Um, yeah, like um about the acting thing. So like Chadwick Woojier, such
Hmm.
a cool name. Was obviously he's great acting wise as the villain. But Chris Pratt puts on the performance of a lifetime, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
It's the best he's ever done in anything. I haven't seen Parks and Rec, but that's a different type of acting, obviously.
Yeah, he's great in that.
He's great.
He's one of my favorites. One of my favorite sitcom like characters.
Yeah. So, but in this, he's just so good. Like,
Oh, he's really good.
but
And uh, yeah, just they're all great though. They all did such good, had such good performance.
Bradley Cooper proves once again why you need a voice acting Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he is by far the best, and there was great perform. Like, everybody was great. Everybody was super good.
Yeah.
And I mean the emotion, like that scream, like, when all the obviously spoilers. It's been 2 weeks. Like, I don't know what to tell you. When they all die, he's like, and then he rips his face. Oh my gosh, this is
Mm-hmm.
the saddest MCU movie, which is crazy too, because like there's been some sad movies. Like, probably No Way Home is probably the closest, but it's also
No.
the funniest movie.
Oh,
Drax and
Drax
Mantis
is
are
the
perfect.
funniest. He's the funniest he's ever been, and he was just like every single time he spoke was just like perfection.
And nothing is forced. It didn't feel
No.
like they're right trying, like he's just like, "Hello, morons," and everyone's just dying. It's how
He's like, "Oh, are we mad?" It's like, "Man,
Mantis, you
stop being an asshole."
so good. It's so
It's just
funny.
hilarious.
Like I was thinking about this the other day. Like, obviously I've watched it 4 times, so I get that's excessive. But if you love a movie that much, I feel like it's okay. It's also the most rewatchable. Like, you've only seen it once, but like I've watched it 4 times in a theater. Like, it's clearly rewatchable. And like I remember No Way Home being like, "This is the greatest ever." It's not that rewatchable because it was so predicated on these moments. This wasn't moments.
Yeah.
This was this cohesive, like, beautiful story. But rewatching it, the couch scene is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's like laying down. Oh my gosh, I didn't notice in the first, like, but thinking about, it's so funny. Drax is the best. Dave Bautista deserves so much credit.
I
Um,
know.
and like Mantis is not, yeah, Mantis was funny too. She
Mantis
was
was great. Well, she was just like good overall, in every aspect. Same with Nebula.
Nebula's character arc from the first Guardians to now is crazy.
It is crazy.
They did such a good job of writing the character, and obviously Rockets is amazing. Like I went and bought two Rocket Funko Pops,
Mm-hmm.
and he's become one of my favorite characters, just simply because of how well this movie did.
Yeah.
Like,
No, it's very true. It made Guardians like the best made them the best characters. It made them the best movie. It literally just did everything.
They're C tier comic characters that are just the most lovable in the entire universe now, in the entire Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Obviously everybody had their moment, like with like Cosmo and Kraglin with the arrow, and obviously every other person.
And
Um,
that's a great example of changing a character that is successful.
oh, the gender swap,
Yeah, the gender
the
swap.
dog,
The gender swapped for a good reason to
yeah,
honor
the
the
actual
actual dog.
that died in space, yeah.
Yes, was a female, and it worked. It was great.
And then there's nothing shoved down your throat, and it's just
No, it's just perfect. It's a great tribute.
and the whole thing of like you're not a good dog. Oh my
Oh my
gosh,
gosh, it's so funny.
such a good running. My favorite running joke in all of Guardians, I think we talked about this, is how they call Rocket everything but but a raccoon
Yeah, until the very, very
until the
end,
very
obviously.
end. Well, I'm. I think we already talked about this that we're gonna put this movie in the book,
Yeah.
and I semi wrote like a thing on it because I mean I've reviewed this movie 4 times on Letterboxd now, so like I was like, oh, I'll put my thing, but like it's so well done because like Rocket is like running from his past, and like you can tell it's so well done. You can see how intentional it is, but like Rocket's running from his past, and his past is like he's not a raccoon. He's like that's not me, and then like to
Hmm.
him to step in to be like I'm this new person. My past has been changed. Like I'm everything's worked out because through my past, like I'm Rocket Raccoon. I'm a guardian of the galaxy. Like it's so well done.
Yeah.
And we gotta talk about the hallway.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So good.
Simply just the best action sequence in probably a comic book movie.
Probably.
It's like that, and like Civil War's got some good stuff, and Logan. Like,
It was just so good. The music was so perfect.
do you think this had the best soundtrack?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
By a lot.
Yeah, the other
It's like
stuff's great too. So
nostalgic and classic and like it fits really well, but this one is just like the songs are so good.
yeah, they picked amazing songs. Um, I was really happy with it. Yeah, it is a great movie. The story was the best story. Did you see that what James Gunn confirmed today?
Yeah, that high evolutionary was being carried by Drax,
Mm-hmm.
so he can be a King variant.
He can, yeah.
I think he should be.
You gotta do it,
I
honestly.
just think there's so many issues with Jonathan Majors still. It's like, yeah, you could wait it out. He's still great, but I mean, let's wait.
Yeah,
I kind of just like I have so much favor for because of how good the movie was. It's just like
yeah.
I have so much higher favors for him than Jonathan Majors.
And it's yeah, because like he could end up being innocent, which would be
Yeah,
cool. But like it's been such a long process to the point where it's like if it's innocent, everyone's gonna question like, is it really innocent or is he just gonna be the next big Marvel dude that like they kept it, under wraps? Like,
yeah. I just
um,
think yeah, I think that it's been happening for so long, and then this, it's just a combination of everything. I mean, if this didn't happen when this movie was releasing. It's just the fact that this happened and it's been looming, and then they released this movie. This movie was so perfect, and then it was like the perfect villain acting performance, and performance was so like on par with what everyone loved about Jonathan Majors as Kang, was like how like meticulous and like smart and like
mm-hmm,
power like it was like very like genius kind of like
mm-hmm,
power,
yeah.
and that's like what he conveyed. You know, like the dude, one of the best lines in the MCU
Oh yeah,
was the stinking when he was screaming the "There is no God." That's why I stepped. That was like, oh my
Ugh.
goodness, bro. I was
Yeah, and it's like obviously,
that was emotion, dude.
yeah, and obviously you're like, oh, that's not true, duh, haha. But
Well,
like you look at it, and you're like, That's what you want from an evil space villain.
Oh, for sure.
You want him to think he's so powerful, he's so in control, which is like, well, if he is Kang, it makes sense. He's just a
Oh, 100%
variant of
makes
Kang that's
sense
so
because
powerful.
Kang is the definition of I'm
I
I
the
am
I am
God. I
God.
stepped in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Do you
So
think the
it's like so fitting because she's just because the character, like I was saying, the character just overlapped with Kang so much that it was like, and all this was happening with Jonathan Majors that it was just like everyone unanimously like subconsciously accepted that like this dude could very well be Kang.
Yeah, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It'd be cool if they did it. What sucks is James Gunn wouldn't be writing it. Um,
Yeah.
this obviously was really good for Marvel, obviously, um, because everybody loves this movie. Movie's gonna make $1 billion. Um, it's amazing. Like some people, a lot of people are like, if it's not one, it's top three. You know, like, um, but this is the best news ever if you love DC.
Oh, for sure.
Because the dude made a near perfect movie, like superhero movie, and he's made two others that are great, or
Yeah.
three, because if you count Suicide Squad too, like it's pretty crazy how good he is.
It is crazy. Um, yeah, it's sweet. I
My,
hope that Marvel takes the blueprint from this movie though, and
you need
I mean
more
they need to step
grounded
away from them.
stories.
Yeah, they need to step away from the multiverse. Multiverse and that kind of stuff should not be solo movie kind of things. It should relate and it should like make sense why
Yeah,
the multiverse is like a thing still, but it shouldn't be like every movie is trying to be like so
yeah, like
much so bigger and but all the multiversal like huge crazy ideas and
uh,
concepts and all that kind of like crazy stuff and overlapping and mixing of characters and lots of main characters and big superhero names and all that kind of stuff should be saved for the big
big
Avengers
movies.
movies.
Yeah, because like you want certain characters to deal with the multiverse. Like the plot of Deadpool 3 is like they're traveling the multiverse, and that's how you get Logan, and that makes sense. It's probably gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be fun. It's what you
Hmm.
want. You want Fantastic Four to deal with the multiverse because that's their thing. Like they're cosmic. They're and maybe not completely deal with it, but you already know they're going to. But like
Yeah,
Thunderbolts, I don't want them to do with anything with the multiverse. I want that this self-contained story. I want Captain America to be, yes, they're gonna have to deal with the Eternals thing, is what I hear, the big giant person in
yeah,
in the sea. But I want it to be pretty contained. I want Spider-Man next movie to be contained, Daredevil to be contained. I want the Marvels to be contained. Like,
yeah. It's there's a lot of issues with it being so massive, but
yeah,
like one of the main things is like if every single superhero is dealing with the same overarching massive issue, it's like is there just like nothing else happening in the world the entire time? Like
yeah,
no, there's gonna be other villains, other small things happening. It's
hmm
like you gotta think back is like to what when MCU movies were like peak. It was like Captain America was fighting Hydra,
yeah,
and I mean let's just talk about the fact that Tony Stark and Iron Man fought a actor for a movie.
yeah,
He fought an actor.
hmm
That was the main villain, and then it was like obviously then it was the other.
and like
But
Guardians 2, they fought Peter's dad. It
exactly, it
had
was like
nothing to do with anything else.
and it's so easy to do. It's like he's this god-like, celestial character that just overstepped you
Bounce,
know,
yeah,
his bounds, and they needed to take care of it. I mean, it's
and
very
like,
same thing with Guardians 1, Ronan. He's trying to take over a world. Well, hey, don't take over the world because that's not a good thing to do.
but they ever so slightly set up the Infinity Stone.
Yes,
It
exactly.
wasn't like, oh my gosh, the multiverse, Thanos is coming. It was like,
No, it was like,
this is
yeah,
here. Like, there's this guy named
and no one even
Thanos. He's evil.
exactly, and no
Yeah.
one even thought anything really of it.
Like,
It was
they
like,
just full on put Kang in a movie, and it was just bad movie.
yes,
Versus like
exactly.
the end, the Loki thing was perfect.
the Loki ending, he's like in one like section
Of a
of
scene. Yeah.
of an episode where it was great.
But yeah, and like Ant-Man, they just put too much. I understand he's the big dude, but like,
And it could have been Quantum Mania and all this different stuff, but I feel like they should have been it should have been MODOK, and it should have been a better MODOK.
and
And
not Darren
then
Cross.
and it yeah, and it could still be like okay, obviously not comic accurate, the backstory, because the backstory is a scientist who tried to make himself smarter and
Yeah.
then got the defect or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
because the experiment went wrong.
Yeah.
And so you can like I had no issue with them straying from that. I don't really care. He's
Yeah, it's
not a
whatever.
his origin's not a big deal.
Yeah.
The fact that Kang made him rather than him making himself, like, cool. He was still a scientist, all that's cool, but I think it should have been someone completely different. Kang still should have made MODOK, and so it was like, Kang was there. The multiverse was there,
What should have been, yeah,
but it's like
yes,
a small thing. But the
like
main villain was just MODOK, and they were in the quantum realm, and you
fighting
got to see all
MODOK.
this cool stuff. Yeah, and it's like, what's down there? Well, it's Kang, and maybe
But
what's her
can't,
face
but
maybe what's her face knows that, but he's not in the movie.
you could, but
Right?
you could still like show the entire backstory because I thought the backstory was done really well. But then it
Yes,
could be like
exactly.
MODOK's the villain because Kang left because Kang's going to conquer the universe.
Yes, exactly. So
Like,
he's like
he's gone.
distant, but he's like there.
You like see him for
know?
10 minutes of screen time with the backstory, and then now it's like, oh, we just defeated MODOK, but who created this civilization? Who created this army? Holy crap,
Like,
there's something.
They're like you're gaining knowledge as the characters are getting knowledge, and it's more cohesive. Everything now is just like diving head first into
Yeah, it's just
concrete.
it's not as enjoyable. So
It's not, no.
the only
They needed nothing's. It's just not digestible. They don't give anything digestible. It's just like giant pieces of information, media, whatever you want to call it. Nothing's like small. You're not like taking small bites like you were in the beginning, where it's like you're getting little pieces and you're like, and it always left you wanting more because it was like that's like almost better, It's like when it's not enough.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I get, yeah, it makes sense. The only last thing about Guardians that I think that people brought up that I think is a great point that they could have done better. Obviously, Adam Warlock was funny. It was great. The whole meme, "Don't be rash," is hilarious.
Don't be rash.
It's such a good meme. It's sort of the best. But when Peter was dying in space, it would have been amazing if Gamora flew out there. And I do like that they weren't together. I'm glad. Very, very La La Land. I really liked it. But if she came out there and like brought a mask and like put the mask on him, like in the first movie, how he saved, that's really good. But
that would have been cool.
But
I like the creation, the
Adam and God thing. Yeah, it was so good. It was so funny.
That was good. I enjoyed that. It was a great.
There's so many biblical, like Noah's Ark in space, space edition.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
No,
it was awesome.
It was
great.
Well, I said 98 out of 100. I have Infinity War at 97, but
that's probably valid. 98 or 99.
Yeah, it's up there. It's not perfect, but it's dang close. So it's a great movie. This might be our longest episode we've ever done.
It's like 3 hours.
2.5. 2:25 right now.
Yeah.
But worth.
Well, yeah. Thanks everyone for listening. As we catch up.
Yeah.
Getting ready. Go into our season 4.
Yeah, this is the end of season 3. It's finale.
Yeah, it worked out. It's technically episode 31, but I'm just gonna call it season 3 finale so that it fits better. So it's like 30.
Dog, this worked out so well. Oh my gosh. You have to call Dog Days Have Gone and like do like whenever you make the cover, do a Guardians cover.
Oh yeah.
In the next whatever, tomorrow or whatever. And Dog Days Are Gone, season 3 finale. Oh, it's so good. That's great.
But yeah. Dope.
Yeah.
Well, sweet. I'm gonna go to bed.
It's a good idea. I'm gonna go watch. I'm gonna go watch The Office.
Life stuff. Get a helmet.